To you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity once again. So, we've been able to look at the subject on the table as well as the outline. Friends, let us pray. Our Father in heaven, amen. The next slide. Okay. So, the human body has long been recognized as a complex biological system essential for sustaining life and maintaining health. So, without the human system or without the human body, there is no life. Beyond its biological significance, the body has also been interpreted within philosophical, ethical, and theological discourse as a sacred entity entrusted to human stewardship. So we will see the body, human body, as something God has given to us for a purpose. And the purpose is that we will be able to establish that we are stewards of the body He has given to us. Therefore, drawing from anatomical science, physiological principles, ethical reasoning, as well as theological perspectives, this presentation argues that the preservation of bodily health is not merely a medical necessity, but also a moral obligation. What do we mean here is that it is not because you are to take good care of your health so that you live healthy, but it is also a moral obligation. God requires that we take good care of us, our bodies. As a society, we require that we take good care of the body. As families, we require that we take good care of the body. Therefore, human anatomy demonstrates extraordinary structural organization and biological precisions, while physiology reveals dynamic mechanisms necessary for homeostasis as well as survival. Once again, the presentation further discusses how unhealthy lifestyle, environmental exposures, and neglect of preventive healthcare undermine bodily integrity. It concludes that understanding the body as both a biological and sacred institution reinforces responsible health behavior, preventive medicine, and ethical accountability towards human well being. So, we'll be looking at a big picture this afternoon so that we will be able to appreciate what God has given to us. Through centuries of scientific inquiries, advances in anatomy and physiology, how the body functions, the body and its parts, and how it functions, have revealed the complexity of the body structures and functions. In fact, as of now, as of today, in the medical field, they've not been able to digest the complexity of the human body, demonstrating an intricate relationship among organ system and sustain life. So the relationship between the entire body and the life, it is so complex that it is so complex to understand. That's the reason why I've said, in the medical field, they've not been able, as of today or now, to establish the complexity, breaking it down, cracking the knot for us to understand everything. That is the reason why every day we keep on researching to be able to appreciate, to understand, and to learn more and more. Okay, let's continue. So, when we talk of human anatomy, we are focusing on the structures and the organization of the body. And also, when we talk of physiology, we are going to examine the mechanism and the functions by which human body structures operate to maintain its required balance to support survival. So, we'll be using these words interchangeably, okay, human anatomy and then physiology, so that you'll be able to drive home what God wants us to achieve this afternoon. In many intellectual traditions, particularly theological and ethical scholarship, the body is viewed not merely as biological matter, but as an entrusted entity deserving intentional care and preservation. So I want you to underline intentional care and preservation. So from several angles, from ethical point of view, from theological point of view, from scientific point of view, what scholars are saying is that caring for the body calls for intentional. There should be intentionality to care for our bodies and to preserve our lives. So we should be able to understand this basic principle. Let's move on. The concept of the body as a living temple presents an interpretive framework in which bodily care becomes a sacred responsibility rather than a matter of personal preference alone. So, Ellen G. White is helping us to appreciate that this concept is a sacred responsibility, and it is something we can take for granted. So, as Adventists, as health professionals, we should be able take good care of our families so that you be able to help those around us to take good care of themselves because it is a sacred responsibility. Within this framework, health here a bit. We are talking about the body, how it, its organs, and how it functions. And we are trying to make a strong point that within this framework, how the body works and how the system functions, so that we will be able to live healthy, calls for health behavior, disease prevention. What kind of these health behaviors we are talking about? And what diseases are we to prevent? And what are the causative factors? What kind of nutrition do we need? And what kind of exercise do we need? As well as mental well-being. All these coming together are ethical significance we can never overlook. Okay? The next slide. Okay. Let's look at the conceptual. Go back. Okay. Understanding of human body as a sacred institution is rooted in interdisciplinary discourse involving theology, ethics, biology, and medicine. In theological literature, the human body is often conceptualized as a dwelling place of divine presence. emphasizing dignity, responsibility, and moral accountability. So, from the theological point of view, God is residing in our hearts. And for this reason, we are to be responsible. We are to be accountable because the body calls for divine presence. Where Christ or God is coming to dwell in the body, is it a clean place or it is not a clean place? Is it a place Christ can dwell or it is a place Christ will bypass? This perspective portrays the body not merely as a biological organism, but as an entrusted entity requiring intentional care and preservation. Once again, having this in mind, you should be able to establish that the body should be intentionally cared for. Let's take this for instance. You are there and then you receive a message from health ministry director or your governor or your union president that the president of the Republic of Nigeria is coming to visit you. Even if your house is as filthy as a dumping site, on that day, you do everything possible to set the place in order. This is how our bodies should look like. It should be a clean place. We should be sound. Ethical scholarship similarly supports the argument that individual possesses obligation towards maintaining bodily health because illness and poor health behaviors affect not only individual but also families, communities, and healthcare systems around the globe. What are we trying to put across here? Scholars, those who have learned from various angles, pulling different research together, they've been able to ascertain, establish, confirm, and affirm that individual possess obligation towards maintaining bodily health. It is your responsibility to see to it that by the grace of God, you be healthy. Because illness and poor health behavior, when you get sick or when you create unclean environment, messy environment, it will affect not only you, but the family as well, the community as well, and also there'll be serious pressure on the health care systems. What do you mean here? Let's take this for instance. We have 1 million Adventists in your union. And all this, out of this 1 million Adventists, 700,000 are sick. And they are all accessing healthcare simultaneously. With few logistics, what will happen? The health system will break down. Let me give you a concrete example. Nigeria population, let's say 50% of the population are sick, or even 30% of the population are sick. There is an outbreak, and we are all rushing to hospital. Medication will get finished, medical supplies, the health system will break down. So, with this long background from this conceptual framework, what we are saying is that when we refuse to take good care of ourselves, we are not creating problem for ourselves, we are creating problem for our families, we are creating problem for our communities, and we are also creating problem for the entire nation because we are going to break the health systems. Can we move on? The human body consists of trillions of cells organized into tissues, organs, and organ systems that function corporately to sustain life. So, I mean, in elementary school, we learned that when they talk of cells, they will ask what is cells, and then you say cells are the basic unit of life. So we know that without a cells, we don't have body. It is like building a house, the blocks that we are laying. And we've been able to understand that the human body, your body, consists of trillions of cells. God is so wonderful. He's an amazing God. An organ system that's functioning cooperatively to sustain life. So they are all working together with the body, with the organs, in order to sustain life. And physiologically processes such as circulation, respiration, digestion, endocrine regulations, and neurological signaling maintain homeostasis and enable adaptation to both internal and external environment changes. What do we mean here? Physiological processes. What goes through in the system, in the body? The movement of blood. When we when, when we breathe, when we eat, how it digests in the body, and how the body absorbs the nutrients to nourish the body, the organs, the hormones, how uniquely God has designed the system for the hormones to produce and to function effectively in the body. How the mind, how it works, how the entire body works to control the temperature, everything in the body, so that there will be balance. In order not to create problem whilst we move along, this tells you that God is great. The coordinated functioning of these systems reflects an intricate, complex biological design essential for maintaining health and survival. You see how God has designed the body from the hair to the toes, the skin, the internal organs, the complexity of our life, the air we breathe, how the hormones are being manufactured in the body by the body and to regulate the body. This coordinated functioning of these systems is so unique. Telling you, submitting to you this afternoon that you should be able to appreciate the body God has given you. It is this complex system that is sustaining your survival. The next slide. We are still looking at the conceptual and theoretical framework. Within Christians, and particularly Adventist theological discourse, the body is also understood as a divine trust requiring responsible stewardship. Adventists, other Christian organizations, or faith-based organizations, we all believe, and precisely we the Adventists, we believe that the body should be cared for. And Ellen G. White emphasized that the preservation of physical health directly affects the mental, emotional, and spiritual functioning. Please look at this very well. When you preserve the physical health, When you take good care of your body, and how do you take good care of the body? As we are moving on, you'll be able to establish all these things. It affects the mental, emotional. It helps when you take good care of the body, as God has enshrined by His grace, you are able to think well, you are able to think as a human being. And emotionally, you become balanced. And spiritually, you are able to function very effectively. You are able to pray to God. You are able to think as a rational human being, arguing that disregard for the laws governing bodily health weakens overall human well-being and capacity for service. So when we disobey God without functioning, without taking good care of our bodies, we are not able to perform effectively, and we also we've disobeyed God. We've shown disrespect to God. She further maintained that the body should be treated with care because it functions as the medium through which human character interact and spirituality are developed. So when we take good care of the body, it helps us because Ellen G. White is helping us to establish that God will speak to you through the body. In other words, without the body, how do you have the soul or breath? So when you take good care of the body, we live healthily, and then when God speaks to us, we are able to communicate with God. Let's move on. Stewardship provides a bridge between scientific and ethical perspectives. So when we take good care of our bodies as good stewards, then there is a bridge to move on. Stewardship implies responsible management of entrusted resources applied to the human body. Applied to the human body, stewardship emphasizes preventive health care, healthy lifestyle practices, and intentional preservation of physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Let me spend a bit time here so that you'll be able to go home with something important. Stewardship implies responsible management of entrusted resources. We are all stewards. We are responsible of our bodies. And when we apply the concept of stewardship to human body, apply to the human body, then stewardship emphasizes preventive health care. You need not to get sick before you go to hospital. Periodically, you should be able to go for screening. Healthy lifestyle practices. You should be able to eat well, exercise, sleep on time, drink adequate water, and intentional preservation of physical. Intentionally, I'll be using the word intentional throughout the presentation. You should be purposeful, intentional preservation of physical, of the body, mental, as well as the spiritual well-being. Ellen G. White talks about this, and World Health Organization is also talking about this same thing. Consequently, behaviors such as balanced nutrition, physical activity, adequate rest, stress management, and avoidance of harmful substances becomes not only medical recommendation, but also ethical responsibilities consistent with preserving bodily integrity. Wow. Balanced nutrition. eat well. Think of balanced diet, plant-based whole food, physical activity. Some of us, we don't exercise. We don't have time. Adequate water. Some of us, the whole day, you not even take a water up to even half of a cup. At times we deceive ourselves. Oh, I'm traveling. Because I'm traveling, not to take more of water. When I take more of water, I'll be urinating. I have to stop. Please, you are killing yourself. You are killing yourself. Hello, Mary. I'll get back to you. You are killing yourself. Avoidance of harmful substances becomes not only medical recommendation, but also ethical responsibility. Now, what do we see? The youth of today, we are resorting to harmful substances, all kinds. And I'm happy that the month of May is drug awareness. And I've seen what you are doing in your union every Sabbath, educating people. So we need to help people to do away with these things. And we as well, we are not to get close to it. Let's move on. Okay. Now, let's look at human anatomy and the sacred design of the body. Human anatomy demonstrates extraordinary structural complexity and biological organization. The body is composed of multiple organ systems, each uniquely specialized yet interdependent in sustaining life and maintaining physiological balance. From a scientific perspective, anatomical structures reveal remarkable integration in which every system contributes to overall bodily function. Within theological discourse, such complexity has often been interpreted as evidence of intentional design. Okay, reinforcing the understanding that the human body deserves careful stewardship and preservation. Let's look at something from here. Scientifically, we've been able to establish, we know, we've seen that the organs God has given us, constituting our body, they are interdependent, sustaining life, and maintaining physical balance. And by biblically, what we are saying is that the organs God has given us, the body God has given us, it is not just giving these things to us. It is for a purpose. God knows, He understands why He gave us all these things. And for this matter, we should be able to take good care of the body. We should preserve the body. Risk all what you need to risk to preserve the body. Lose all what you need to lose to maintain your health, because it is a sacred responsibility God has placed on us. Let's move on. Let us look at the skeletal and muscular systems. We've seen a skeleton. We've seen a human body. So now we are going to appreciate why God gave us skeleton and also gave us flesh with its muscles. Let's move on. Okay. When you talk of the skeleton, the skeletal system provides the body with structural support and protect vital organs such as the brain, the heart, the lungs from injury or injuries. Look at where your heart is located. Look at where the lungs, the organs are located. Without this skeleton, it will be very difficult to secure its protection. Again, we are talking about movement and mobility. The skeleton helps us. Bones, joints, and muscles work together to facilitate body movement. Without the bones and the joints and the muscles coming together, the body cannot move. Because with the skeleton alone, it cannot move. And with the body alone, it cannot move. So God fused the two together and other substances so that the body can move. And now we have the body. We are talking about the mineral storage and cell and blood cell production within the body, within this frame we are talking about. The skeletal and the muscular system. Bones store essential minerals such as calcium and phosphorus and serve as sites for blood cell production in the bone marrow. So the bone and the muscles, they come together so that the bone can function well to keep on to producing blood. Body regulation and circulatory system. The muscular system contributes to thermoregulation, circulation support, and maintenance of body balance through coordinated muscular contractions. So, the body, there is a regulation and circulatory support between the skeleton as well as the body or the organs that God has given to us. So, from what we have discussed so far, God gave us the skeleton and then the muscles combined so that you can function effectively. But before the bones and the muscles can function effectively, you, being a Seventh-day Adventist, as a human being, you need to do something. You have a role to play to secure your health, to secure your life, in order not to die prematurely. Let's move on. Okay. The structural harmony between bones reflects sophisticated biological organization necessary for physical function and mobility. Disruption caused by physical inactivity, trauma, poor posture, nutritional deficiencies, or unhealthy lifestyle choices may compromise musculoskeletal integrity and reduce quality of life. Let me spend a bit of time here, few seconds, to see if I'll be able to bring home what I have in mind. When we refuse to take good care of our bodies, by reducing physical activities. When we distract it, distraction without moving. We can stand at one position so long without even moving. Nutrition deficiencies, what we need to eat, of which we are not eating them, or unhealthy lifestyle choices, that's the summary of everything, may compromise musculoskeletal integrity. It can affect the skeletal system and reduce quality of life. Then you'll be having problems with our joints. You'll be having osteoporosis. And then in your 30s, 40s, and then there'll be hip fracture. When you do scan, when you take the scans and those stuff, there'll be evidence of osteoporosis because we are not taking good care of ourselves. There should be structural harmony. There should be agreement between the bones, the muscles, the ligament, or in other words, the veins and the rest. There should be agreement so that there will be disruption that will affect the body, how we stand, what we are eating, and the rest. Consequently, preserving musculoskeletal health through exercise, adequate nutrition, and injury prevention presents an important aspect of bodily stewardship. Wow. What do you mean? Take good care of the body in order not to have fracture. You are going to work and some people are fighting. Okay, let me come from this angle. You are going to work and you met someone hit you, and you also hit him back or her back. He insulted you and you also insulted back. He picked a stone to throw at you. What do you have to do? There is no need for you to even insult him. When you break any of the bones as a result of this, you are going to bear the consequences. The car, the vehicle you are traveling with, you are seeing that the vehicle is not in good condition. Preserving the musculoskeletal health through exercise, adequate nutrition, and injury prevention. You have seen that the vehicle is not in good condition, yet you decided to travel with it. Of all the warning signs, prevent injuries. By doing these things, we are talking of bodily stewardship. Exercise, minimum 3 times in a week, at least minimum of 30 minutes every session. Adequate nutrition, eat well. I'm not asking you to go and eat all kinds of meat or fish, but see to it that the food you are taking is balanced. Injuries prevention, please be very careful. You are riding a motorbike, someone is sitting at the back of that helmet. Even you, the rider, no helmet. Your children, your wife, no helmet. Prevent injuries. These are the things we should be able to teach our church members, our people, in order to secure their health by preventing injuries. Okay, let's move on. From a theological perspective, care for the musculoskeletal system aligns with the principle that the body is entrusted to humanity as a sacred responsibility. And Ellen G. White also emphasized that physical labor, exercise, and balanced living contributes significantly to bodily vitality and overall well-being. Physical labor. Some of us, we've been blessed with at least a parcel of land behind our houses.